B Guard and Eliza B. I'm putting B Guard higher than Eliza B. Eliza B. Because you can actually get honey from Eliza B. You can't from B Guard. You can't from Eliza B. So it does come in handy a little bit more than Eliza B. Grintail. Grintail is a blatant rip-off of Meowth's Berserker, sorry. If you look at Berserker's face and Grintail's face, it looks like they've just copied and pasted it. Just like they did with Doomud's top with Sobble. They did it with Berserker's face. Just put it on a terrible pal. I don't like the design of Grintail. I don't mind the design of Doomud. So, there's that. Swee and Sweeper. They're just goofy little fluffy guys. There's not much else. They're just fluff. Just literally fluff balls. Chillinit. Chillit. I don't mind it. It's not a bad pal. There's a boss of it. It was our first boss that we defeated. And first boss that we also caught. So there's that. Yeah, not a bad design. It's a ferret. I like ferrets, so it's an ice ferret. Zeb Striker. Sorry, not Zeb Striker. That's the Pokemon. Univolt. It's close to Zeb Striker. It's an electric zebra, but the design itself is not really close. Zeb Striker is black and white. This is blue and yellow. It's very much more spikier than Zeb Striker as well. Foxicle. I really like Foxicle. I really like Ninetales. Reminds me a little bit of Ninetales, especially the Ice version, the Alolan version. I'm not going to complain too much about it. It doesn't have 9 tails. I really like it. It's a nice design, although resembling a lot of Ninetales, Alolan. Pyron. I don't like this design at all. I don't like the normal version more than I like the Noct. The Noct isn't as bad, but I did not know they were horses until I was told. Raindrix. I like Raindrix. The crest kind of reminds me of Suicune a little bit, especially because I was told, and then I looked at it side by side. It is kind of the same, but completely different animals, completely different design. I like the design. It gets a B. Rayhound. Rayhound's a little bit boring, in a way. I'm not a big fan of it, and I died quite a few times trying to catch one. So there's that. So it gets a D. Kitsune is my favourite pal that I've ran into, and it's on my team, and the reason I don't use Arsox as often, because they're both fire. I love the design of it, and Kitsune are one of my favourite mythical creatures, although it's not Norse, it's Japanese. I really like the design. The blue fire is so good, it's so interesting. And yeah, so it gets an S tier. Dazzy, there's nothing bad about Dazzy. There's nothing good about Dazzy. It just gets a simple C. Lunaris. Lunaris gets a C as well. It comes in handy in the base. It's very fast at handiwork. It's got level 3 handiwork. There's nothing too bad about it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Echo from Overwatch, but otherwise, it's not really any close to anything. Uh, Dinosum, again, there's nothing too bad about them. They remind a lot of people of Goodra, me included. They do look a lot like Goodra, but far enough to not be Goodra, if you know what I mean. So it's not anything bad. I don't mind it. The flower also kind of reminds me of a little bit of Meganium, but there's one that reminds me of Meganium more later on. Surfant isn't too bad. Its partner skill is Swift Swimmer. That comes in handy, and you swim through the water a lot quicker, and I mean a lot quicker. So there's that, but otherwise, I don't use it on my team. Probably never will. So, yeah. Maraith this is the first PAL that I've not ran into on my own world so far. I find the design a little bit creepy, but it's cool. Its partner skill's called Messenger of Death. I don't know what it does, but it sounds pretty sick. So, it gets a C. I don't mind it. Dig Toys gets a B. Comes in handy with mining yeah, mining ore. So, ores mines a lot quicker than you can. So it's very useful in that sense. The design is quite cool. Reminds me a little bit of Bowser though, with the spiky shell, but it's not too bad. It's pretty cool. Tombat's not too bad. Early game, it's pretty good for mining and transporting. It's got level 2 in each. I did not like dying to it a few times during the night when it is around early game. So there's that. Number 69, Lavender. This PAL literally is said in the PAL decks that it humans. Right. Look it up. It gets bored of PALs, so it fucks humans. Right. It gets a C. The design's not too bad. I like the pink. Wouldn't fuck it though. It's not good looking. Flamebell's pretty good. Cute little design. That's about it. Van Worm. They both get A tier. I use the fire version sometimes, fire dark version. My wife has the ice dark version, so she uses that. Once I get a ice dark version, I will be using it on my team, because I don't have an well, I do have an ice type, but I'll replace it so that way I can fly. Bushi is next. This samurai guy, he's pretty cool. Fire samurai. It's not too bad. Reminds me, the hat especially reminds me of Kung Lao from Mortal Kombat. Just from the hat. That's about it. There's nothing bad about it. I like it. Design's pretty cool. Beacon. Shine brighter with Beacon. I don't know why. Every time I hear that name, it just reminds me of that ad. My wife uses this on her team. It's pretty cool. And same with the Ragnarhawk. I like the Ragnarhawk a little bit more. My wife uses both of those on her team. Ragnarhawk gets a little bit higher due to its name. That's about it. I really like it. The designs are really cool. Catris. Catrices are alright. Um, People complain that it looks too much like a Is it Mismagius? Mismagius, the hat and everything. I don't see it. I don't see it. It's a hat. It's a witch's hat. Just because it's a witch's hat, it looks similar. Okay, fair enough. I don't care. Wixen though. Wixen is Braxian or Delphox with a hat. That one's quite close, especially Braxian. Not so much Delphox with a hat. And Verdash is what's that Pokemon? Scores Bunny, is it? That's just Scores Bunny but green. Like that's a blatant rip off. If there's any pals that are like the same and will be sued, that one's like the most resembling that. At least these are a little bit different. That one's just the same. So yeah. Violet. I haven't seen this either. There's nothing bad about the design. It's a little flower fairy. Looks pretty decent for a small little flower fairy. So yeah, it's got 3 medicine production. So level 3 medicine production. So it does come in handy if you want to do that. Sibelix. Another one. Nothing wrong with it. I don't mind the design. I've got no personal attachment to it. It's just, yeah, it's there. It's not bad. Alphadran. The water version, the aqua version, and the normal version. Dragon and then Dragon Aqua. Yeah, Dragon Water, sorry. They both get a C tier. There's nothing too interesting about it. They're just a little fat dragon thing. So yeah, gets a C tier, middle of the tier for me. Calpsy, both Calpsy and Calpsy Ignis get a F. They literally just look like they're just a blob with fins. I reckon AI created them, and a lot of other people say the same thing. So I don't like them. They have a very boring design, and yeah. But as a Roby, which is basically the bigger version of it, I don't mind. Primarina. It's the hair is a blatant rip-off of Primarina, to the point where I've seen the same model, the same polygons and everything. It's the same thing. It's the same hair. I'm pretty sure they just copied and pasted it. So actually, because of that, I'm dropping it. Cryolinks, although I personally find it ugly, I don't mind the design. This is just me, I've never heard this, but it reminds me of Randall from Monsters Inc., the purple lizard dude. I don't know why, but that's just me. I've never heard that. I've heard a lot of other things that I've said so far, but that's just me. It's creepy, it's weird looking, it gets a B. Blazehowl, they're basically like manticores. The normal version gets a B, and the knocked version gets an A. The blue and purple fire looks so much better than the normal fire. I don't know, it looks sick. And especially in game, if you've got high definition in game, it's like a very much like a bright blue. It looks sick. So I've ran into one of these and immediately got one-shotted. I'm not very good at the game, so I have died quite a lot. But yeah, I got one-shotted. There is a boss version of the normal version in the volcano, so there's that as well. But yeah, B and A. I'm pretty sure you can ride it as well later on in the game. I haven't ran into it yet. Relaxosaurus and Relaxosaurus Lux. They're both middle of the line. They're just fat dinosaur dragon things like these two, except these two have wings. That's it. That's all their design. So, yeah, not a big fan. This is the one that I was saying. The Broncherry reminds me a lot of Meganium. So, I don't like the design. It's more interesting than Meganium. So I like it a little bit more than Meganium, but it's too close to Meganium, if you know what I mean. Like, Meganium come first, so I've got to give that a little bit more props. I personally not a big fan of any of the Johto starters. I think they're a little bit boring because they're a single type, and I started on Kanto, but the one I actually remember, so I was very young when I played Kanto. The one that I remember when I started was Diamond and Pearl, and then I went back and played Hoenn, and then I went back and played Kanto. I've only just recently started Johto for the first time ever, so... And Meganium's probably my favourite out of the three, because a lot of people hate it, so I like it a little bit more. I just want to be different. So, Petalea, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. C, reminds me a little bit of Gardevoir cross Lilligant. I love Gardevoir, as I've explained in the past. There is another Pal later on that reminds me more of it. So it gets a C. Can't go any higher because it's close to both those Pokemon. Reptyro. The Reptyro Fire gets a B. The Reptyro Ice gets a C. I don't like that the Ice type one is still on fire. It should be Ice, like coming out of it, not fire. Doesn't really make sense. I actually have the I got the Ice type before I got the Fire type. I only just recently got the Fire type. It has level 3 mining, level 3 cooling. Comes in handy, but I don't like the design that the Ice type is still on fire. It doesn't make sense. If it wanted to do that, it should be Ice Fire, not Ice Ground. King Packer and Ice King Packer. They both get a B tier. I think they're kind of good. They're way better than Melpacker, especially wherever Melpacker is. We've defeated this boss quite often, quite a few times. We all now have one. I have the Ice type one as well. I got it out of an egg. Actually, I got 2 of them out of an egg. So, I like them. The design's good. That's about it. Mamorest. Yep, Mamorest and Mamorest Crest. I like them as well. Their design's pretty cool. If I had one, I'd name it Manny, due to Ice Age. Yeah, there's not much else I can say about it. The designs are cool. The bosses are cool. I like that they're the first boss that you see. It's huge. Yeah, so the bosses are like really cool.